My friends, today I want to remind you of a truth that can change the way you see your struggles, your waiting, and your pain. God never forgets His children. You may feel unseen, you may feel unheard, you may feel abandoned in the middle of your trials, but I assure you today that the Lord has His eyes upon you. Even when you can't trace His hand, you can trust His heart. Think for a moment about the times you've prayed, and it felt like the heavens were silent. Think about the seasons when you gave everything you had, and still nothing seemed to change. Perhaps you've whispered in the quiet of your heart, Lord, do you still remember me? Do you know what I'm going through? Let me tell you, yes, He does. He has written your name upon the palm of His hand. His word declares that not even a sparrow falls to the ground without His notice, and you are worth far more than many sparrows. Throughout the pages of Scripture, we see people who thought their story was over, people who felt forgotten, but God had a plan that surprised them and everyone around them. When Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, and locked away in prison, it would have been easy to believe God had abandoned him. Yet in the perfect timing of the Lord, Joseph was lifted from the prison to the palace, from rejection to honor. What men meant for evil, God turned for good, and He will do the same for you. When the Israelites stood trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea, fear filled their hearts. From a human point of view, there was no way out. But God had not forgotten His children. With one command, He parted the waters and made a path where none existed. What seemed like the end became the very stage where His glory was revealed. That is how He works. He will never leave His children without hope, never abandon them to defeat. Some of you listening right now are in your own Red Sea moment. The walls feel like they are closing in. The pressure seems too much to bear. But I want you to lift your eyes above the storm and remember that God is not finished. Just as He sent help to His people then, He is sending help to you now, and when it comes, it will be greater than anything you could have imagined. Think about Peter locked in chains, guarded by soldiers, gates sealed shut. To the world, his situation was impossible. But in the middle of the night, God sent an angel to open the doors and lead him out. Peter's rescue shocked the guards, amazed the believers, and proved once again that the Lord never forgets His own. And the same God who opened prison doors for Peter will open doors for you. The chains that hold you, the obstacles before you, they are no match for His power. You see, when God sends help, it often comes in ways that no one expects. It may not come from the person you thought it would. It may not arrive in the form you imagined. But when it comes, you will know it was the hand of God. It will silence the mouths of those who doubted you. It will lift your spirit, restore your hope, and strengthen your faith. And it will remind the watching world that your God is alive. So do not grow weary in the waiting. Do not lose heart in the silence. God's delays are not His denials. He has a plan that is unfolding even now. He knows the right moment, the right place, the right people, and the right way to send the help you need. And when it arrives, you will see that every tear, every prayer, every sleepless night was not in vain. Lift your head, my friends. The same God who raised Lazarus from the grave, the same God who fed 5,000 with just a few loaves and fish, the same God who calmed the winds and waves, is the God who is watching over you right now. He has not forgotten you. He will not forsake you. And when He moves, it will surprise your family, it will surprise your friends, it will even surprise you. But it will not surprise heaven, because heaven already knows the victory that is on its way. Hold fast to your faith, keep trusting in His promises, because the help you've been waiting for is closer than you think. And when it comes, it will be clear to all that God never forgets His children. My friends, let me remind you today that no matter where you are or what you are facing, you are not forgotten. You may feel overlooked by people, but you are never overlooked by God. He sees you in the silence. He knows the battles you fight when no one else is watching. He understands the heaviness in your heart, the questions that linger in your mind, and the prayers you whisper through tears. And even though it may not seem like it right now, God is already sending you help, and when it comes, it will surprise you. Sometimes we think we know exactly how God should answer us. We imagine the person who will step in, the opportunity that will open, or the door that will swing wide. And when those things don't happen, we begin to wonder if God is listening at all. But the truth is, God's ways are higher than our ways. His answers often look different from our expectations, and His help often comes in ways we never imagined. Think about Israel standing at the edge of the Red Sea. They expected defeat. They could hear Pharaoh's army rushing toward them, and before them was nothing but a vast, impassable sea. Nobody thought deliverance could come that way. Nobody expected the waters to split. Yet in that moment of despair, God did the unimaginable. He made a path where there was no path. That's what God does. He sends help in unexpected ways, and maybe in your life right now, it looks like there is no way out. The finances are not adding up. The doctor's report is not what you wanted to hear. The relationship seems broken beyond repair. In the natural, it looks impossible, but I want to tell you God has ways you cannot see. He has resources you don't know about. He has power that cannot be measured. What seems like the end to you is just the beginning of His plan. Do you remember Peter locked in prison? Chains bound his hands, guards stood watch on both sides, and iron gates shut him in. There was no hope from a human standpoint, yet in the middle of the night God sent an angel, the chains fell off, the doors opened, and Peter walked out free. Nobody expected that. Nobody thought the help would come that way. But God showed once again that His power cannot be stopped, and His timing is always perfect. Your help may not come from the person you thought would stand by you. It may not come from the place you assumed your blessing would rise. But that doesn't mean God isn't working. It just means He has a better plan. He will often use the least likely people and the most unexpected situations to bring you through. That way, when it happens, you'll know without a doubt it was His hand, not man. And when He does it, it will not only lift you up, it will also silence the voices that doubted you. It will prove to those who said you wouldn't make it that God is still on the throne. It will strengthen your faith and give you a testimony you can never forget. Because sometimes the very thing you thought would destroy you becomes the stage where God reveals His power the most. My friends, I urge you today, don't give up just because you don't see the answer yet. Don't stop believing just because the help has not arrived in the way you imagined. Hold on, because your miracle may be one prayer away. Your breakthrough may be one act of obedience away. Your deliverance may be closer than you think. The same God who raised Lazarus after 4 days in the grave is the same God who can raise your situation. The same God who fed thousands with a small boy's lunch is the same God who can multiply what little you have and turn it into more than enough. The same God who calmed the storm with just a word is the same God who can speak peace into your troubled heart today. So lift your head. Keep your faith alive. God's help is coming, and when it comes, it will surprise your family. It will surprise your friends. It will surprise your enemies, and it may even surprise you. But it will never surprise heaven, because heaven already knows the victory that is on its way to you. You may not know how, you may not know when, but you can be sure of this. God will send you help, and it will come right on time. And when it does, you will say, "This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes." My friends, sometimes life brings us to a place where the weight feels unbearable, where the road looks too long, and the night feels too dark. Some of you have been walking with unanswered questions. You have prayed, but the answer hasn't come. You have cried out, but the silence feels heavy, and in your heart you may be wondering, does God see me? Does he care? Has he forgotten me? I want you to know today, with all the certainty of God's word, he has not forgotten you. He knows your name. He knows every detail of your struggle, and while you may not see it yet, he is already preparing help for you. And when that help comes, it will not only lift you up, it will surprise everyone around you, and it will prove once again that the God we serve is faithful. All through Scripture we see this truth. God's people often faced impossible situations, moments where there seemed to be no way forward, no solution, no escape. But just when it looked like the end, God stepped in with power that nobody expected. Think for a moment about Israel standing at the edge of the Red Sea. Behind them was Pharaoh's army, armed and ready to strike. In front of them, an ocean too deep to cross. From a human perspective, there was no chance of survival. But the God of heaven spoke to his servant Moses, stretched out his hand, and parted the waters. What looked like certain death became a pathway to life, and the same God who split the sea is able to split the sea that stands before you. Or remember Daniel in the lion's den. All night long the hungry lions circled around him, but they could not touch him. Why? Because the Lord shut their mouths. What was meant to destroy Daniel became the very stage that displayed God's power to an entire kingdom. And today, the challenges you face may look like lions ready to tear you apart, but the same God who stood with Daniel is standing with you. Think about Peter in prison, chained between soldiers behind iron bars. There was no chance of escape. But in the middle of the night, an angel of the Lord appeared, broke the chains, and led him out into freedom. Nobody expected it. Nobody imagined it. But when God sends his help, he does what no man can do. And when he helps you, people will know beyond a doubt that it was the hand of the Almighty. The Bible overflows with these stories, not just to inspire us, but to remind us that the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, the God of Daniel, the God of Peter is also your God. He has not lost his power. He has not changed his nature. What he did before, he can do again for you. And let me tell you this, sometimes the help he sends doesn't come in the way you expect. The Israelites thought they were trapped, but their deliverance came through a miracle in the sea. Peter's friends were praying for him, but even they could not imagine that an angel would walk into that prison. Mary and Martha wept for their brother Lazarus, thinking it was too late, but Jesus arrived and called the dead man out of the grave. God's help often arrives in ways that surprise us, because his thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and his ways are greater than our ways. My friends, don't limit God. Don't decide for him how the help should come. Your answer may not come from the person you're expecting. It may not come through the door you're looking at, but when it comes, you will know it was his hand, and everyone around you will know that your God is faithful. So today I tell you, don't lose hope, don't give in to fear, don't let discouragement take your joy. Hold on to the promises of God, because your help is on the way. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is the power working on your behalf. And when the answer comes, when the breakthrough arrives, it will surprise your friends, it will silence your enemies, and it will strengthen your faith. Yes, the night may be dark, but morning is on the horizon. Yes, the battle may be long, but victory is already written. Yes, the burden may be heavy, but help is coming, help that will remind you and everyone who sees your life that God is faithful yesterday, today, and forever. So lift your head, my friend, wipe away the tears, keep praying, keep believing, because the same God who has carried his people through every storm in history is carrying you now. And very soon the world will see that the God you serve is still alive, still powerful, and still faithful. My friends, there are moments in life when the weight of trials feels almost unbearable. You've prayed, you've fasted, you've sought answers, yet the storm still rages. The enemy whispers that you're forgotten, that your prayers are in vain, that your hope is slipping away. But hear this truth today. God has not forgotten you. He is not late, and He is not silent. Even now, He is preparing to send you help that will not only lift you up, but will silence every enemy and strengthen your faith in ways you never imagined. All throughout Scripture, we see examples of God showing up in moments when hope seemed gone. Think about Israel standing before the Red Sea. Behind them was Pharaoh's army. Ahead of them was a sea too deep to cross. In the natural, it was over. There was no escape, no way forward. But when the Lord stretched out His hand, the waters parted. The people walked through on dry land, and the enemy that chased them was swallowed up by the sea. That was divine help. Help that no one expected, help that silenced the enemy completely. And isn't that what God does? When it looks impossible, He makes a way. When it seems hopeless, He proves that He is still in control. You may not see it right now, but your Red Sea moment is about to turn into a testimony of God's power. Consider Peter in the book of Acts. He was chained between soldiers, locked behind iron gates, guarded on every side. By human reasoning, there was no escape, but in the midnight hour God sent an angel, chains fell off, doors opened, and Peter walked out free. Nobody could explain it, nobody could deny it. That is the kind of help God is preparing for you. It will come in such a way that no one can take credit. No one can say it was luck. No one can say it was coincidence. They will have to say, surely the hand of God has done this. Some of you have been waiting so long that discouragement has crept into your heart. You've been wondering if the answer will ever come. You've been asking yourself if you will ever see the light of day. Let me tell you, the delay is not denial. The silence is not abandonment. Sometimes God allows the waiting so that when the help arrives, it is so undeniable, so powerful, so surprising, that everyone around you will know it was Him. The help may not come from where you expect. It may not be through the people you thought would stand by your side. It may not arrive in the timing you had planned. But when it comes, it will be perfect, and it will be right on time. For the same God who provided manna in the wilderness, the same God who caused water to flow from a rock, the same God who delivered Daniel from the lion's den and the 3 Hebrew boys from the fiery furnace, is the God who is working in your life right now. When that divine help arrives, it won't just rescue you. It will silence the voices of doubt. It will silence the critics who said you would never make it. It will silence the enemy who whispered lies in the dark of night. It will silence fear, silence despair, silence hopelessness, and as the enemy is silenced, your faith will rise. You will look back and say, if God brought me through this, then surely He can bring me through anything. Your testimony will become a weapon, not just for you, but for those around you. Others will see how God stepped in, and their faith will be strengthened too. They will say, if God did it for them, He can do it for me. And that is why the help God sends is not just for your victory, but for His glory. So lift up your head, wipe away your tears, refuse to surrender to despair. You may feel surrounded, but you are not abandoned. You may feel pressed down, but you are not crushed. The same God who raised Jesus from the dead is alive and working in your situation. Hold on. Keep believing. The help that is coming will surprise you. It will overwhelm you, and it will leave no doubt in your heart that God is faithful. When it arrives, you will see that divine help not only rescues, but also silences enemies and strengthens faith. And that faith will carry you into the next season of your life with confidence, with peace, and with joy that no one can take away. Your help is on the way. Trust Him. It will come right on time. My friends, I want to speak directly to your heart today, because I believe many of you are standing at a crossroads. You've been carrying burdens that feel too heavy, waiting for answers that seem delayed, and facing battles that have left you weary. Perhaps you've whispered in the quiet of the night, Lord, do you still hear me? Have you forgotten where I am? Let me tell you with confidence, God has not forgotten you, not for one moment. He knows the weight of your struggle, and He is already sending help that will surprise you. Sometimes in life, the darkest nights come just before the dawn, and the greatest breakthroughs often arrive when it looks like everything is falling apart. That's why you must not let despair blind your vision. Even when your eyes cannot see, God is at work. Even when your hands are empty, His hands are moving. Even when your heart is weak, His strength is holding you up. Think back to the children of Israel standing before the Red Sea. The sound of Pharaoh's army thundered behind them, and a wall of water stretched before them. To every human eye, it was over. They had no way out, no strength left to fight, no chance of survival. But in that very moment, God stretched out His hand, parted the waters, and led His people across on dry ground. No one could have predicted such a miracle. No one imagined that the sea itself would open. Yet God made a way where there was no way, and, my friends, that same God has not changed. He is still the one who opens impossible doors, who turns defeat into victory, who takes the hopeless and breathes new life. You may be asking, but how will help come to me? Who will God use? Where will it come from? Let me encourage you not to limit God with your own expectations. The answer may not come from the person you are looking at. It may not come from the direction you expect. The Lord has 1,000 ways to deliver His people, and His help often arrives in the most surprising form. Remember Peter, locked in prison, chained between guards, doors, and gates sealed shut. To everyone around, his fate was sealed, but the church prayed, and God sent an angel in the night. The chains fell off, the doors opened, and Peter walked out free. No soldier could stop it. No gate could hold him. It was God's hand, and everyone knew it. And when God sends you help, no one will be able to deny it either. The help He is preparing for you will not only lift you up, but will silence the voices of doubt and opposition. It will remind your enemies that your God is alive. It will strengthen your faith so that when the next storm comes, you'll be able to say, "I know my God will see me through." I know some of you are on the edge of giving up. The weight of disappointment has crushed your spirit. You've prayed, but the answer seems delayed. You've hoped, but the door has remained closed. You've tried, but nothing has changed. My friends, don't give up now. Don't walk away before the miracle comes. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Sometimes the enemy wants to wear you down just before your blessing arrives. He wants you to lose hope, to abandon faith, to quit praying. But this is the time to press in, to lift your eyes higher, to declare that your God is greater than your circumstances. Think of Lazarus lying in the tomb. 4 days had passed. Everyone said it was too late. But when Jesus called his name, Lazarus came forth alive. What seemed dead was given new life, and I believe God can do the same in your situation. What looks too far gone, what feels impossible, can still be turned around by His power. So lift your head today. Do not measure your future by your present trial. Do not assume that today's sorrow will last forever. The same God who fed thousands with 5 loaves and 2 fish, the same God who shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, the same God who stood with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, that same God is standing with you now. Your help is on the way. It may surprise your family. It may surprise your friends. It may even surprise you. But it will not surprise heaven, because heaven already knows the victory that is about to unfold. Hold on, keep believing, and trust that God is faithful. What He has promised, He will do. Your breakthrough is not far off in the distance. It is nearer than you imagine. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.